Hello. Today I will be reading on Mars, and I'll be reading on
Aries,
Aries as Aries enter into
Capricorn.
Capricorn. I don't know what is wrong with me. Capricorn. So what can I say about this? So Aries, it is the planet, a warring planet, Mars, right? So, but when they say warring, it just makes Mars look like it fight for no reason.
That's true.
That is not the case. It's just the fact that Mars is going to stand up. It's going to stand up for righteousness. It cares about what people see and think about them. It's its persona. It's one of those cardinals, right?
Yes.
So it's got to make a grand entrance. It's got to let you know I am spring, baby. I'm coming in. Enough of the cold, and come on. So it's got to make a grand entrance. And sometimes when you're dealing with sluggy, wuggy people that's grumpy, you got to get a little rough. And who's better to do that than Aries? The life of the party, but the first to go to sleep and say, I did my job. Okay. But anyway, just joking, but just giving you a way to see it as it enter into Capricorn, which is the goat, the businessman. So we see that this is fire and we see this is earth. So we see that they could probably work together, but we got two dominant forces. You saw. So let's see what's going to happen for Aries as it enter into Capricorn. First thing I see here, I see the Page of Cups. And as for me, pages are females. They're feminine, they're young, they're children, not children, teenagers. Or maybe not teenager in an age, but in teenage immaturity.
Okay.
Like you could be 25 years old and be a grown-up, but still be slightly immature in some things because pages are learning. They still haven't mastered it. Also, I see movement. So I see definitely water, and we're dealing with Pisces. So that's the water sign. Got secrets, dark. Feely, very spiritual, enlightened. But I definitely see that some of you have been thinking about something, Pisces, really thinking about it deep and long. And I think it's time for you to make a move. I see those wands. I see those cups of inspiration. And I think don't let whatever it is, I think it's holding you back. Don't stay in your head. You've been thinking about this. I see the world is before you right now. What is that? That's about a 2. So when you got a 2, that means you got the plan. You got a connection. You could either let it divide you or you could let it catapult you. That's up to you. But I see this. You're ready to come up out of it. You're ready to come up out of it. You've been hatching it. You've been thinking about it, looking at it. I don't know. It could be a plan for a business, or it could be a plan to leave. It could be a plan to buy a house. It could be, I don't know, but it is your moment. This is your moment. And you've been thinking about it, planning for it, being really wanting to do it. And the ground is right. The season is right for you. Do it. I mean, everything looks wonderful. I don't see any, let me lay this next card. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I see if you don't do it, you're just going to regret that you didn't do it, because it just seems like to me, sometimes we hold on to stuff. Like say money. I want this, but I don't want to spend the money because this might happen. And what happens? You wind up spending the money on something else and never getting what you want. Sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind and do what's best for you, as long as you can handle it. As long as you can handle it, because you can't go into life always saying, I can't do it because this might happen. We just can't live on mights. I have to live on what is. And what I know is, because things happen, but you don't want to go through thinking negative. You don't want to stay in your head. You don't want to stay in that dark place, Pisces. Am I reading on Pisces? Aries. You don't want Pisces to keep you in that dark space You know, I don't know if it's somebody you know. I don't know if it's your mate, whatever. But you got to, come on. Come on, Aries. You're about fire, spark. Don't let that water drown you out. Rise up from that. Rise up. Come on, put that thing to action. You're about that money. You're about that money. You know what you want. You know what you want. You know what you got to do. Don't let fear and doubt creep in. That's what the heaviness of that water. And Pisces can do that. But don't let them drown you out. Okay? So let's see what the oracle have to say. And you know, you might say, well, it may not do good. Hey, nothing beats a failure but a try. Because you'll always wonder, did I do it? But hey, all I can say is at the end, it may not be what you want, but it will be prosperous. It may not be where you want it to be, but I think it's something you're going to have to continue to work at. And if it doesn't work for you and you realize this ain't working, stop and go and take it somewhere else. Move something else. Do something else. If something is dying before you and you can't revive it, let it go and move on. That's my advice. Now, what does the oracle have to say about this? I think you really got things going for yourself, Aries. Don't let nobody put out your light. Go for it. Even whatever, if it's about leaving, moving, going to college, traveling, going, whatever it is, do it. That's who you are. It says night. It's a short period. Loneliness, dark, watchfulness, sleepiness. See, you have allowed all of this to put you in a sunken place. All of this heaviness, all up in your head and drowning out your own fire from reaching your own potential. Are you going to do that? No, you are not. You are going to rise up and you're going to fight for your dream because it is yours. You go for it, Aries. You got the fight in you. Don't let nothing drown you out. That's what you do best. You're a go-getter. That's what you do. And that's my read.